two things I want to pass on. Generational differences are normal. It's exaggerated in our circumstances because of migration. The second thing I want to talk about is integration. نعنا أبزي استولدنا ويابزي زعبنا بفلايتهم بنيشتيهم زمتو مالتيو. It is very difficult to integrate into another context. You guys say stuff like that, right? Right? Actually, it's very psychologically difficult to integrate into a society where you look like people who have been systematically marginalized for hundreds of years. So you're fighting when you go outside, right? And then in your family, you come back and they say, don't do that. Komwai nori. Do this, do that, do this. And you try to make them happy because you want them to be happy. But some people have never even been to Tigray. They don't even know Kabe comes way to expectation. You understand what I'm saying? So it's natural that this kind of a gap would happen. Communications Tigray, if you want my honest opinion. They're very strong people. They've suffered tremendously across hundreds of years, probably because of the geopolitical location of where they are. And what ends up happening is, but if you don't talk about what you're going through, there's confusion. Do you understand what I'm saying? They say, you don't know anything, right? Who's heard that before? You don't know anything. Anyone? Yes, of course we don't know. I mean, we were born and raised here. We have no idea. Are you going to share that information? If you don't share it, we'll never know, right? And not the nice things only. Everything's good. There was a problem too. That's why we're here to begin with, right? Tell us everything. Tell us everything. So, we can think through intellectually, right? It's good for people to know who they were. I may be here like, I may be Filipino in 100 generations, I don't know. People mix. That's the nature of humankind, right? But it's important for me right now. Foundation, I have to know who I am. Even if it's uncomfortable for you to share it. Does that make sense? And if you don't know, say, I don't know. Then you know what we can do? We can get people studying archaeology, and they can go to Yiha and start helping whoever's there, digging up artifacts, to continue the struggle to understand better what was, right? Okay, that's one thing. There's a gap in opportunity. Gap in opportunity can hasib kallana. Well, kullu sab kmats in kallo ab hada darajay nabaran. Some people knew how to read and write in English. Some people didn't even know how to read and write in their own language because of systematic oppression from before. This is a reality, right? So even as I'm going to speak from the youth side, for us to expect our parents to jump with us when they're struggling so hard to get to even a basic being literate sometimes is unrealistic. We have these unrealistic expectations of one another, right? We get frustrated. Why are you not like this? Why are you not like this? We can't be like that. That's not who we are. We came from problems. We're trying our best to make it better. Some of us were born into problems. Some people were born into housing projects that are, it's not even safe for you to walk and get some exercise in the evening, depending on what city you're born in, right? There's a lot of things that we're dealing with. So we need to talk. Communication, see? We got to talk to each other openly, malatu. And I'm so excited when Mr. Mulgeta talked about these community centers. It's the perfect platform to have these kinds of difficult conversations, malatu. Another thing I want to mention, technology was mentioned a number of times. This is the fourth industrial revolution, malatu. everything is going to be, I mean, artificial intelligence is going to take over. To taxis, Uber, this is all going to disappear at some point. So, ምርጫለሁ. Are you going to make the transition here and help your family back home to make the transition into this highly, increasingly dynamic, integrated world in which technology will run a lot of things? Komutagerna, we're going to be okay. Tsega Gebreyesus, we're going to be even further behind than we are right now. So that's a very dangerous thing. It's very important that we stay on top of that. Salsai Nagar, there's also a gap. When I was writing to all of these dignitaries across the political spectrum, I thought to myself, oh my gosh, we need alliances, right? There's a gap in communicating not only amongst ourselves, miskalot, do you understand? Other immigrant communities, maybe bitnatka shigr zahala fuq idmaha, bzuh mkhri khbu khazkhulu. We need to be talking to them. How did you pass through that? Maybe they're different from you. Maybe they came from the same background as a lot of people who hold the power in our current society, so it's not as difficult. But whatever it is, there's always something to learn, right? So I want to argue that the gap in engaging civically, you need to vote locally, you need to vote nationally, you need to know what people are saying about you. That's one of the reasons why we're having a lot of problems right now too. We don't know what people are saying to us on a national platform. And then we're shocked, right? We need to be present, you need to be at the table as a group. Everything that we've done in antiquity to this day, even opening a liquor store, you do it through alliances, right? Help each other out. And then go to the Eritrean community is here, the other Ethiopian African community. There are a lot of people here. We need to build alliances because that's the key to survival. If you really want to survive, Maletiu, if that makes any sense. So I guess to conclude, gaps are natural. How you address the gaps are up to you. And I hope we all use the platform that we'll have at the community center as a place to discuss these issues, and even if it's uncomfortable, even if it takes years, find a way to come to relevant solutions for our community. Thank you so much.
My name is Elsa Mahari. I became an attorney last year.